I'm Maria Hall Brown, and this is LA Currents. Writer Bobby Ackhart wrote, "Because you never know the day before is the day before, make sure you prepare for tomorrow." And someone who knows the value of preparation is Carol Parks. She's the general manager of the Los Angeles Emergency Management Department. So nice to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here, Maria.
One of the things that is really important is to prepare, and one of the things that the city does is actually kind of give everybody a little bit of a run-through of what one should do in an earthquake. It's actually called the Great Shakeout.
Yes, the Great Shakeout is actually an international event. You know, it's grown over the years. It's so significant that we want everybody around the world to take just a few seconds out of their busy day to practice what we should do when an earthquake happens, because we don't know where we will be. Even though we live here and work in Los Angeles, we could be somewhere else in the world and an earthquake happens, and we want to make sure everyone knows exactly how to safely respond when an earthquake happens.
What are some of the key elements of the Great Shakeout?
Well, the key element, first of all, as I mentioned earlier, is just to pause. Wherever you are, take a few moments, drop, cover, and hold on safely. You know, so many times people will run to a doorway or run outside to see what happened, but we could endanger ourselves by doing that. So it's an opportunity to remind everyone to drop, cover, and hold on under something sturdy until the shaking stops. So it's a drill. We are very mindful that you can be any number of places. You can be driving your car or riding a bike, and there's a great website that will tell you what to do no matter wherever you are. You may not be here at the ELC, which is seismically safe, so we just want you to know what to do. And we have a lot of resources to teach everyone exactly how to be safe.
You know what, something you just said made me think, not everybody is physically capable, and you know, there are a lot of people that may be elderly or infirm, or even small children who may not understand what's happening. But if you go through these things consistently, you have the opportunity to make it second nature. Is that true?
Very true. And that's where practice comes. So we encourage you to talk about it with family and friends. It's not a fun topic, but it's a safe topic, because we want to make sure those who are around us know how to best prepare. If your child is at school, we want them to know how to be ready. Even though we're in a pandemic, we still have to remember one of the greatest threats here in California is earthquakes. So we take every opportunity we can to validate information, to make sure people understand what they should and should not do.
What are some of the biggest mistakes the general populace makes in an emergency? I mean, are there things that would make your job a lot easier, or even any kind of emergency responder's job a lot easier, if, you know, the populace just sort of had ingrained in them?
I'm so glad you asked me that question, Maria. One of the big things that we encourage people to do is get prepared in advance. We want to be proactive and not reactive. Taking some time out of your busy day, or saving some dollars, or investing in personal preparedness is so important. The more we as individuals, as Angelenos, know how to prepare for disasters, the better we will respond. And to understand the different types of disasters that can happen here. Earthquakes is just one of the hazards, but the more informed we are, the more we prepare for home, for work, when we're in transit, the better we will be. So, you know, take a few moments out of the family meeting time that we may do to talk about how will the family respond? You know, how will we communicate with each other? If there are older adult family members or family members with access and functional needs, how do we make sure that they are prepared and that their needs can be met? We do know that LA is huge, and that first responders can't get to everyone right away. So that's why we want to educate, so that, you know, you may be your neighbor's first responders. So if you're educated and you know what to do, you may very well save your neighbor's life. And that's the message that we get across.
So along those lines of preparation, and I mean, obviously, first responders are going to get to you as fast as humanly possible, but you never know the degree and level of a complicated scenario.
Correct.
So what's at the very least, how long should someone be prepared to be okay on their own?
At a minimum, at least 3 days. That would be our recommendation. Longer is even better, but at a minimum. And levels of preparedness are different for different people. So, I've gotten questions over the years, well, suppose, everyone can't prepare for that amount of time. Do what you can do. Simple step, whether it's buying non-perishable food and water, do that. Whether or not it's getting a small amount of cash, whatever your greatest need or my greatest need is taking a few moments to think about what those needs are and making sure that those resources are readily available. And we also encourage non-structural retrofitting, and that's what you and I can do and anyone else to ensure that when we're in our homes or wherever we live, that things that can fall, break, and cause harm, physical harm, that those things are mounted, or that we use earthquake putty for things that could fall over and break any glass. So there are a lot of inexpensive things that we can do to ensure that internal to wherever we live, that those areas are safe as well.
Continuing with our conversation about preparation, you may think that it's just for you and your family, but think about others around you when getting prepared. And I'm delighted to be joined by Crisanta Gonzalez. She's the Community Preparedness and Engagement Planning Division Chief. That's a long title, which means that you've got a lot of information. But the whole idea of thinking about preparation for any kind of catastrophe, and earthquake in particular, should actually maybe encompass just more than your tiny little unit.
Your tiny little unit actually is connected to many units. So your tiny little unit could also consist of your pets. Do you have updated records for your pets? And then you also have your neighbors. Is there anybody in your neighborhood who may need your help or your assistance during an earthquake? Are you going to need assistance during your earthquake? So there's also involving that community. There's the schools, if you have family members who are in school, or senior centers, if you have family members who are in senior centers. So the community tends to be larger and larger and larger as you start to think about how we can help each other during this, catastrophic time.
You brought up some interesting points. I mean, I would have automatically thought of my children's school if, in fact, I do have, or I have children, or if someone has children. But the neighborhood, and I think maybe we've started to think about that even a little bit more now that we've experienced this pandemic, understanding that people might be isolated and alone and they might need help. So how does one reach out and build that larger community?
It's actually a very hard thing to do in the city of Los Angeles. People have a hard time reaching out to their neighbors and identifying their neighbors and getting to know their neighbors. We kind of drive by each other and kind of say, hey, how's it going, but we never actually dig deep into finding them. So the city of LA has created a great resource. It's called Ready Your LA Neighborhood. We like to call it Rylan. Rylan is the nickname, and it's available on our website. And what this tool does is it's a free tool where you can get to know your neighbors, and you can also create a plan with them. And all it takes is one leader in the community to host a meeting, and then you invite your neighbors over, or you could do it virtually. We also have set it up on our website to do a virtual DIY Rylan. And so at the end of this, meet and greet, you come out with a plan. So at the end of that, at the end of 90 minutes or so, you know exactly what to do after an earthquake, and you know exactly what to do to help each other evacuate.
I really appreciate your time.
Sure, thank you.
Lots of preparation is the most cornerstone of all of this.
Yes.
All right. Get prepared. You must. And that's a wrap on this LA Current.